Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. On today's episode, we're going to do a quick sneak peek of the Reeftopia first birthday sale. Alright guys, thank you for joining me on yet another episode of Parker's Reefs, and as touched on in the intro, today we are here at Reeftopia. Today is the 1 year birthday of this incredible store here in Queensland, Australia. I've been fortunate enough to be invited back, and today I'm actually doing a little sneak peek before the first birthday sale, and let me tell you, these guys have stocked these tanks with so many incredible corals and fish and dry goods, and then they've got sales, giveaways, raffles, all sorts of attractions. So probably without any further ado, let's roll the footage and check out what Reeftopia have to offer on their first birthday sale. All right, heading in store while the team are still setting up before the big first birthday celebration that you can see the poster advertising there on the counter. There are some of the raffles and giveaways here on the day. You can see some things there from Reef Factory, Aquaforest, Cade, Coral Essentials, some Reef Pure RO items and more. In fact, there's quite a few behind the door there still to come out because, as I said, the team are still setting up. This is a little bit of a sneak peek, but I want to focus on this beautiful Cade Peninsula for a second because this is the most obvious thing that has changed in store since I was here 1 year ago for the grand opening. This big, beautiful Cade Peninsula has an incredible aquascape in it there, a really three-dimensional scape. It's almost like a motocross helmet at that peninsula end that just has a visor that continues on all the way for the full length of the tank, and it looks beautiful. This tank obviously has just been set up and is not quite ready for fish yet because the team here do like to quarantine everything to make sure it's perfect before it goes, but quite a sight to see. Now, I know you guys are desperate to see the corals, so I figure we might jump in on those first. And on this first bay, man, you will not be disappointed. Have a look at the Goniopora in there, some of these acans. There is so much corals to cover. There are 2 coral bays absolutely chock-a-block with corals, and we're going to try and go through as many as we can in the allocated time. Have a look at this acan in here with all sorts of colors on it. Greens, yellows, reds, there's some there with purples. These Trachyphilia here are absolutely blowing the color sensor on the camera. These Scollies here, have a look at those. That's incredible. It's purple, it's orange, it's green, it's red. And then this one here, that's what I call a bleeding apple on absolute steroids. And then coming across to some of the humble fungias, there's some stunners in there. This chalice up here is beautiful as well. Have a look at all the colors bleeding through that one. A real nice gumball-esque type of chalice there, and some nice bower bankies. There's some beautiful heliofunges in here. In fact, a huge range of heliofunges, something you don't see in many local fish shops anymore. So to see that many of them there is incredible. And I will try to come to the front of the glass so you guys can see the prices of these corals, because the prices here are ridiculously cheap, and that's before you take into account that the team have 20% off livestock for today for their first birthday, which makes some of the higher priced items incredibly affordable. But coming across here, let's have a look at the Euphilia tank. We will come back to that first tank in a second, but I wanted to bring you over to have a good look at this Euphilia tank. There are so many varieties of hammers in here, from nice single heads for those who have either a nano system and they want to build it out and have a whole kaleidoscope of colors, through to some big showpieces in there. In fact, we'll get to a gold showpiece on the other side in a minute, which absolutely takes the cake. But there are hammers for days in here, from models to reverses to canaries, through to your frog spawns, your toxic greens, any other name you can think of, the team here have got them. And yeah, huge variety, incredible prices, and it doesn't stop there. You can see we move on to some Gonioporas here. One of the glitters has closed up just while I got the camera out, but plenty of others have not. Have a look at them stretching. Look at this. This one's really cool. This is a wild collected piece which has green stems on one side, purple stems on the other. It's a naturally grafted piece. Quite a unique conversation starter, I would call it. And there is no shortage of not just high-end gonies, but some of your big abstract gonies, those big bright ones there, but you've possibly seen in the bottom right hand corner there a showpiece of the day. But let's have a look in here first, because we've got some tube anemones, which are got to be the weirdest thing on the planet, but I cannot delay any longer. Let's have a look at these ridiculous red and yellow bubble tips. This one here in the corner is my favorite. These are priced very, very affordably in my opinion. In fact, I couldn't believe it when Michael told me how well they were priced, but we will continue on. Have a look at these mini maxis in here. We've got some of your standard forest fires. Remember, they used to be the brightest bubble tip on the planet, and then you compare them to those red and yellows over there, and wow, they are some ridiculous anemones. Now, over this side, you can see we've got even more frog spawns. We've got gonies, we've got hammers, we've got branching, we've got walling. You can see all the prices on screen here. I promised I would try to take my eyes off the coral for a second so you guys could see just how affordable these things are. Have a look at this branching hammers, $25 a head for modeled pieces, and some standard colors there. Ridiculously cheap. And if we come across here, I did promise there'd be a showpiece gold, although I've got to laugh at this. This abalone here is doing a little bit of aerobics, but check out the color of that gold hammer there, and it's a big monster of a piece. Absolute stunner. It's difficult to show the size when it's underwater. It always puts things out of perspective, but that's way bigger than my fist. And looking down there, you can even see some black sun corals and big, long, almost look like whips, those branches over there. Beautiful indeed. And then onto a coral that I always say gets a little bit of a short go here in Australia, and that's the elegance. Look how cheap these are. $35 to $45 each for Australian elegance, and there's some stunners in there. Really, really nice. Look at this nice translucent gold tentacles on that one. All sorts of different sizes available. Some really bright ones there, some toxic yellow centers, and then some to give contrast on those. Coming across here, we've got over into our lobophilia here, and there should be some trachophilia too, or they might be on the other side, but you can see the prices there. Standard's $35 each, $35 Australian, ridiculous. These multicolors here have definitely taken my fancy. Some of the colors through the center there, instead of it just being a standard green, you've got a marble of all sorts of colors, and I can't help but go back and have a look at some of these scullies back here. How ridiculous are they? That gold and purple and that green and red is just ridiculous. Moving on over to some Duncans there, you can see smalls 45s, bigs 55s, and then onto torches. Have a look at the prices here. These are Australian torches, all the way through to Holy Grails at only $750 a head. Do not forget that they are 20% off that price. So take another $150 off that. You got Holy Grail torches for $600 a head, only today at Reeftopia. But you can see they are nice examples of Holy Grails too. Got real nice contrasting golds and toxic greens there. Looking at some of these Cynarias in here, these are very well priced, 45, 120 and 200. I quite like this toxic green and purple there. Here's a beautiful piece. Those green and purple colorations just really pop against each other, and it's hard to find something looking better than that, but we'll try by digging at some of these clams. Now, clams, when you look at them through the front of the glass, I must admit, I feel they never do much for me, but when you look from the top down, have a look at them come alive here. Look at that beautiful blue pattern in there. Sensational piece. And this one over on the left here is also just got a galaxy of blue speckles through there that you could look through for hours. So heaps and heaps of coral in that first bay. I'll be sure to get the DSLR out in a second so we can have a good look at some of those pieces in a little bit more detail. But before we do that, we're going to have a look at this second tank here, because there's plenty to cover here, including some of your super affordable corals from Morphs and Redactus from $15 to $45 each. And there is a huge assortment in here. You can see some fluffies, you can see some speckles. Some of those fluffies are on the verge of being St. Thomas. They're beautiful big bounces on them, really nice toxic little bubbles. And then you've got blues, pinks, greens, turquoise, reds, all sorts of colors, and there's some different speckles, some that don't stand out from a distance, but when you look close, they are ridiculous. They've got bright pink splashes or pink with blue lines through them. Just a ridiculous assortment of all sorts of corals there at very affordable prices, which is super, super key as we move on over to some of the Recordia, which is where some of the prices can blow out a little. And you can see the prices on screen here. They're not all expensive. Your standards are on at $45 each, but when we get over to that side of the tank, there are a couple of pieces over there, particularly those two in the corner, that are absolute showstoppers and do
absolutely demand the price that they have on them because they are stunners. But before we get there, let's have a look at some of these green star polyps and some of these beautiful zoas in here. I believe some of these zoa rocks have come from Monsoon Aquatics. There's a nice Rhodactis in there, nice grey bounces on a red base. I quite like that. That is a chance of coming home with me, but I tend not to try and pick up corals when I am working at events like this. But have a look at some of these stunning pieces here. Michael has done an incredible job getting some beautiful range of corals in. You can see the zoanthid rocks, 45 to 55 each, and they've got a kaleidoscope of colours on them. Sensational offering. And likewise, into the soft coral section here, there's a huge assortment of different pieces, and I've just noticed this pulsing xenia here. I know to some experienced reefers out there, this stuff is the devil, but there's something hypnotic about watching those little hands pulse away when the flow is turned off. It's just an absolute joy in this hobby. But you can see the leathers here, $35 to $45 each. And some of these are massive, very, very affordable price. And you can see they're all loving life in there as well, which is an even better sign because leathers, they do like to spit out a little bit of toxin sometimes, so they're doing quite well. Over here you can see Mick has a mixed pick section, which at the moment has been cleared out because everything is mixed picks at the moment. For the first birthday celebrations, you can see some big names on the glass here, including this Hallucinations. I will be sure to track that down. I also like this Deshi at $200. See if we can find him, because have a look here. There he is, a incredibly gorgeous little Deshi there. Now I will need to find out from the team if that's a captive spawn or if it's a frag or if it's just been wild collected that size. I've got a hunch that it could be some sort of captive spawn Deshi, which is super, super cool. There's also some ridiculous blasters we'll have a good look at under the DSLR in a minute. But have a look at some of these. I'm going to call them bread and butter LPS, but it's no disrespect. There's some gorgeous bubble corals in there, Duncans, some Gonies. There's some crazy nice scullies there. We'll have a closer look at those in a second when we get on the other side. You see some Raja Rampage frags in here, some Holy Grail Acans, some of these Monties in here. Beautiful green protein infections on them, just looking a treat indeed. Got some urchins in there, keeping everything nice and clean. This looks like a red polyp Dallas there. Very, very nice stuff. And then we come across to some Goni frags. Have a look how bright these guys are. And they're, I'm going to say in inverted commas, standard reds. They've even got standard Dallas frags there, as well as some pink Cadillac. Got some nice blues there. Really nice assortment of aquacultured Aquapora frags, which is good to see. As long, sorry, not as long, but as long with some of these beautiful Gonies here. And you can see some of the prices on the screen there, which in my opinion, are super affordable. Dallas at $50 a frag. You got ASD Millies. Over here you got PC Rainbow. Pink Cadillac at $75, very, very cheap. You see Rainbow Loon for $100, Red Polyp Dallas at $125, even Walt Disney at $200 a frag, which is super affordable. Again, there's a 20% off these prices, which brings those Walt Disney frags down to $160. That makes it very, very cheap indeed. But we must continue on because there's much, much more to see. Red Setosa in there. There's some nice fireworks in here, some beautiful purples and greens. I'm sure they're named pieces as well, but the name has slipped my mind. But we'll head on over into this corner. You look at the barrage of snails in there, keeping everything nice and clean. There's some top-end Gonies in here, some really nice glitters, some reds. There's some grafted cap in there. We'll come around here because I want to show you some of the other Gonies in here that are very, very nice indeed. You can see some of the prices on screen there. You've got the Holy Grail Goni. We'll see in a second. They called it a Glony, and I tell you what, when you see it, it will make you lose your speech because it's a stunning piece. See a good look at some of these red lava bounce shrooms in here, which look a treat indeed, and you get another look at some of these acros in here. That's a pink Cadillac in there. Some really nice pieces. Another view of the Red Polyp Dallas, and you see some of the Walt Disneys there as well, which, like I said, will come down to $160 a frag. But here's some of these ridiculously nice Goniopora. Have a look at the colors on these. Beautiful coloration on them. You've got this sort of green and gold going on. It's almost like a the gold's a real gold color. And have a look at these scullies for any one of our high-end scully collectors out there. You may remember that one of the partners of this shop is Michael and Joe, and they have a sump full of scollies in their home. So these guys know how to procure some high-end scollies, and Mick, running the shop here at Reeftopia, is more than happy to oblige and keep that tradition going. But over here we've got some gold tip torch, 150 a head, take 20% off that, so you're down 120 a head. And you can see there's some good sized pieces in there, plus some nice greens, some solar greens, some hulks, different colored tips. I quite like the toxic candy cane though. It's not an expensive coral, but just really stands out in any aquarium it's in. Over here you can see the other side of those ridiculous leather assortment, but I did promise we'd have a closer look at these recordias, in particular this one down here, which I believe is a giveaway on the day from Cairns Marine. A just kaleidoscope of colors in there. I know I've said that a few times today, but there is literal slices of different colors in it, and the one next to it with the gold rim, absolutely stunning. And for those who are looking for more affordable recordia, you can see some here that have absolutely nothing to be taken away from them. Those oranges are super, super bright, but there's a good assortment of those Zoa rocks as well. And then we can see the other side of these morphs, which there's some beautiful pieces in there, I've got to say. I am developing a soft spot for morphs because you can sort of chuck them anywhere into your aquarium and they just seem to work in there. Now, I did promise I would get the DSLR out so we could have a good look at some of my favorite corals, and why not start at these two recordias? They just look ridiculously nice. And then quickly moving across to the trio of Scully here, that you can see that they are just as toxic here as they were on the other camera, the DSLR, showcasing their beauty. Not to be outdone with these two Scullies. Have a look at this one here, one of my favorites with the purple, orange, green, red, all the colors in there. Here is the hallucination zoanthid, which I believe there's only a couple of in Australia. And of course, look at these gonies, ridiculous color combination in them. Beautiful pieces indeed. You can see what they look like closed, and you can see these beautiful glitter reds here. Stunners, you've got some glitter greens, all the glitters, and then there's another one of these beautiful pieces there. Look at the orange and green on it, stunning indeed. You can even see a little bit of the lava bounce rhodactis there. Stunning piece as well. I love the way that's been cut off some egg crate. It's been fragged out. There's another one there. Moving on to a little bit better known piece, and that is the Holy Grail torches. You will recall these were $750, I think, minus 20%. So super, super cheap. Comes in at $600 a head Australian, which is a very good price for such stunning Holy Grail torches. Have a look at these acants here. Look at the color combinations on that piece. The yellow is very, very vibrant in there, contrasting nicely against the purple. Coming down here, you can see the pinks. Here's another rainbow in there. Look at the greens, yellows, reds, even a bit of blue in there. Some more candy cane striped ones. I do want to have a look at these Trachophilias because they're just about breaking my camera. They're that toxic. And I do also want to find my way over to these Fungias. Not the most expensive pieces going around, but have a look at this trio up here. This green and gold one there, absolutely beautiful. This orange with green little tentacles to it, and this other orange with yellow tentacles on it. Ridiculously nice pieces. Some Space Invader chalice there. Beautiful corals indeed. Moving across onto some candy canes, but I do also want to have a quick look. I believe this is a Bowerbanky over here. This piece has got a real potential for colors to explode through it. As it is, it's orange and purpley grey, but there are some hints of yellows and greens through the orange section there, which is very nice. Coming across here to these high-end Blasto frags, individual heads, and of course this tiny little baby Deshi. I absolutely adore it, and if I had a nano system, I would be first in line to pick that up because I would love to see that grow out. And if I didn't have an angel that ate Blastos, I think I would be all over these two because very rarely do you see toxic orange. But if you happen to be in the market for a bubble tip anemone, you will find no shortage of toxic orange. Have a look at these, red and yellow with a bleed of orange through them. Ridiculously nice bubble tips, some of the nicest I've seen in Australia. So if you do like a good bubble tip, you'd know where to find them, and there's a few to pick from there. But we must continue on. There is more than coral to see, and we're going to have a look at the invert wall here because there's some cool pieces in here. You can see obviously no shortage of inverts. There are stars, there are crabs, there are snails of all varieties, there are urchins. In fact, there are heaps of them in here. Michael has to add in some extra air bubblers just to keep them oxygenated. But you can see in some systems here, got a great assortment of some different seahorses. There's mandarin gobies in there. There's pipefish, some very delicate pieces in there. You've got some starfish there. Looks like a collector crab has just wedged himself in behind the pipe there. If we get a look up here, you can see a porcelain crab, which is just a beautiful addition for any sort of anemone in your tank. And then we can see some awesome pistol shrimp and goby combos. And look how bright yellow that Watchman goby is. Stunning. And in fact, I believe Michael has numerous different, have a look at this, another Watchman goby combo there. Numerous options to pick from depending on your budget and your color preference. There is heaps to pick from. There's a red line cleaner shrimp in there. There's another mandarin. There's even more Watchman goby and pistol shrimp combos there. So if you've been holding out for one of those for some time, this is your chance to get it. Not only to have a choice of different color combos, there's another bright yellow Watchman goby right there, but to also get them at 20% off. A fantastic opportunity indeed. You see Strombus snails, Trocus snails, I think there's Astreas, you've got urchins. There was turbos galore in the coral system, so don't just stock up on fish and coral. Make sure you get plenty of inverts to keep your tank nice and clean. And even in this system here, there's a sea of hermits in there, tiny little hermits. And I do like this long spine urchin has got a friend of a little lionfish in there. So this invert wall has a bit of everything. Another one of those collector crabs in there. They're such strange little dudes. They just look like a little bit of rock rubble or even a bit of detritus. But heading down here, I thought we just had snails and inverts in here. And then I noticed just chilling out in the corner over here, it just happens to be a nice little juvenile shark. I believe this is a wobbegong shark. And what a cool unit he is, just sitting there. He blends in so well when it's even got a black base. I cannot imagine how well he blends into a nice sand and rock arena. Stunning little creature there. He's obviously going to get a little bit bigger, but not the biggest of sharks going around, but lots and lots to see at this relatively small section of the shop, from these bright yellow Watchman gobies, red line cleaner shrimps, obviously heaps of snails, urchins, and things like that, but also some wobbegong sharks in there, and you can see the huge assortment and of course the very affordable prices of each item there. You see red line cleaners definitely do cost a bit more in Australia than other parts in the world, but this is quite an affordable price for Australia. And then you do take the 20% off. Here's the wobbegong shark, beautiful animal indeed, and you see some other pieces in there as well. So the team have got no shortage of items there. And I do just want to take this opportunity to point out some of the dry goods before we finish things off with the fish, because despite being a relatively small store, you will see here that Reeftopia has a huge range of dry goods, including and not limited to the huge different options of salt they have on hand here, from Aquaforest to Tropic Marin through to Instant Ocean, Reef Evolution, in different sizes, different variants, huge amounts of salt. Now, if we come on over to this side of the store, you'll see their big wall of artificial rock. So if you're wanting to get a new scape going, if you've been inspired by that incredible scape that Michael has in that Cade Peninsula, you can head on over here and pick from a number of different rock types and get working away on your dream scape. Some things like these are real reef rock plates. A massive, I've not seen plates that big before, and they've even got some little different, you can see some of those plates there that look like a Monty cap. Huge assortment of rock there, into branches and all different brands covered there. Looking up at the ceiling, you can see some more chillers, some more skimmers from different brands there, depending on your budget. And then we come over to the Coral Cartel section of 3D printed goods, and they've got a huge assortment here, starting off with these acclimation boxes. Now, this is not something I would have thought that you could 3D print, but these guys are the best in the biz, and you can see they have some beautiful acclimation box there, so you can introduce your new fish to your existing fish without, hopefully without any damage happening. They've obviously also got their frag racks here, different sizes, different colors, and you can see those colors are going to absolutely pop when they get in your aquarium lights. You've got frozen feeders here, you've got dosing line holders, you've got media holders, you've got it all there. So full assortment from the team at Coral Cartel. Also got down here some Carib Sea Arag Alive sand, because it is the best in the biz, and team have got plenty of options there for you there to make sure that you can add sand to your tank. They've got some of the Sea Torch dosing containers there, one of each size. I think there might even be more at the back. You've got some acrylic acclimation boxes here, if that's the way you prefer to go. all sorts of options here. And then one thing I do want to show you, they've got some media bricks, but also a huge range of loose frag plugs, and these are their very own. You can see the Reeftopia logo stamped right there on the tile. I've got it upside down. That's the way it is. Yes, you can see the fish stamped on there, looking a treat. But you can also buy media bricks. You can see obviously some more skimmers there from Great White and the team at Delua. Heading up here, you can see some filter socks. You can even see some water box tanks there. So you got the Cube 10, the all-in-one 20s there. And then over here from Aqua Vitro, you've got some of the high-end range of aquascaping tools, which sometimes are used for freshwater, but there is definitely a crossover into the marine world. And then here we've got some acrylic frag racks, some different options there, depending on whether you're just looking for a spot to hold 1 or 2 frags, or if you've gone all out at the sale and stocked up. Over here you can see some of the Aquaforest goods from their starter pack, component 1, 2, 3, and then you go into their full range of foods and supplements and things there. Now over here we've got a table or a display from the team at Reef Pure RO. Now Daniel from Reef Pro RO will be there, Reef Pure I should say, but they are pros. He will be there to talk through your RO requirements. And I've got to say, these guys are the best in the biz. I talk to them about my RO requirements frequently, and they never send me on the wrong path. They are fantastic, very affordable Australian products, brilliant, absolutely love them. You can see they've got a good assortment on hand for the day, which will also qualify for that 10% off. On the end of this rack here, you can see some interesting little pieces from some different heaters. They got some Eheims in there, very, very popular, very, very efficient heater, up to some poly filter. Highly recommend everyone have that. Another item I highly recommend everyone have is this handy little and very affordable $10 drip there. So an acclimation drip for your new fish. And I do like the different colors of the Aquastick putty here. You got the coralline red and then just a gray. So depending on which way you want to go, you've got plenty to pick from there. Now, heading on over to this rack, this is jam-packed, and we'll start off on the top here. The team here at Reeftopia do carry the full Reef Moonshiner lineup. So for those moonshiners out there, you've got all of the elements there, including the ICP OES test kit there, sorry, ICP MS. Then you've got the Triton ICP OS and the NDOC test there. So lots and lots of options out there for those who like to tweak their trace elements. And then the products don't end there. You've got Roa Carbon, Roa Phos, you've got Vitalis Foods and flakes and pellets of all different varieties. They're marine grazers, even coming across onto their anemone pellets and LPS foods. Heading down here, you can see some of the Hanna pH calibration fluids there. So you've got 10, 7, 4, you've got the salinity ones, you've got the Hanna checkers here. Don't forget, these will all be 10% off as well, which is a great deal. You don't find much discount at all to be had from Hanna items. So it's a good opportunity to stock up either on the checker you've been looking for, or even just on the reagents to get them at a good deal. You can even see a good assortment here from Dr. Tim's, from their Eco Balance to First Defense, the one and only. Full range there, of course. And then Aussie-made Reef Revolution are here with their quarantine, their phosphate remover, nitrate remover, their cycle, their bacteria in a bottle, their fertilizer for people making their own phytoplankton. Huge assortment there, and including their white spot treatment as well. Up here you can see the Ocean Nutrition range of pellets, all the bright colors of those, well and truly stocked up, all the different sizes there. And down along the base here you can see all for Reef, a good number of the bottles of liquids there for those who are looking for a one-stop dosage on probably a smaller tank, to be fair. Acro Power, move on to some glues, some treatments here from your Chemi Cleans onto your cyano removers and things like that. Some coral dips, some more salts, believe it or not. The team found room for more salts, including Reef Revolution salts down there. And then you go on to the ASF sort of shots of supplements. So you've got supplements for calcium, magnesium, strontium, all the things one could want. And then if that wasn't enough, you move on to the Continuum range of products, and geez, they've got a big range, and Reeftopia, of course, have it all. So if you're looking for some of their aminos, or you're looking for the program to clean out bubble algae, they've got you covered. Now, onto the final rack, well, second last rack of dry goods. You can see we've got some of the Auto Aqua Smart ATO ROs there. You've also got live copepods and phytoplankton. Up here, you've got the Auto Aqua Spins. These help you do your tests, so you don't have to shake the vial, it'll spin it for you. I love these Auto Aqua Smart Security or skimmer switches. They're very handy for turning things off before they overflow, and they've got the full range of those there as well. On here, we've also got some UV sterilizers, the Aqua Twists there, highly recommended on pretty much any system with fish really, but that's a whole nother debate. Moving on to the Reef Factory Smart Rollers there, you've also got the Kamoa X2SR, the automatic water change, remembering it'll be 10% off today, including their ATOs, their doses, everything one could want from Kamoa, they've got it there. And then up here, we've got some of the Delua pumps from their wave makers over to their return pumps, a nice Aussie version, very affordable pumps. And then we come across to Sicce, you've got wave makers, small return pumps, larger return pumps, and then some more Sicce stuff down the bottom. Moving on across to some Ecotech products, you've got the Vectra returns, the small, the medium, you've got some filters, you've got some stands, even see some AI Neros there, you've got a Versa pump, MP40s, MP10s, Radions there, yes, 10% off. Got a nice assortment of AI blades here from the Glow, the Refugium, and the Grow, down to some Hydras and Primes, even their Refugium option there, the new Axis return pumps, and even the AI Orbits. Of course, the full range of Neros, the 7s, the 5s, the 3s, so full range of assortments there. Now, I did say that was the second last rack of dry goods because there is one over here, and it would be remiss of me not to mention the Aussie owned and operated Coral Essentials. They've got a big stand here, and I believe Rick from Coral Essentials will be on hand to go over all of your trace element dosage questions. So you can speak to the man himself, and he'll guide you through how to get the best colors and health out of your aquarium. And they've got a good assortment of the products on hand here, including their very popular black label. You can see the Chroma Vibrance and Energy there, or the all-in-one CVE Plus, and of course goes all the way through to their major elements with the trace element dosages in there. And right next to there is the Reef Factory stand, which has got all of their items there, from their base pumps in different sizes. Even got a smart tester there, which will be 10% off, and the reagents there. I can see a couple of phosphates and a magnesium reagent there. Their new dosing pumps and ATOs. Over here, we've got the ThermoView Salinity Guardian and a pH monitor. I'm a big fan of these two. I run the salinity and pH in my own personal tank. You've got level keepers, you've got reagents, you've got their wave makers, their new dosing pumps, of course the KH Keeper Plus, and of course they're very popular lights. But we should move across and have a look at the fish, but there is one more spot I've got to cover. I did say there was only 2 more racks of dry goods, but I did find one more. On the end here, we've got flippers, all of the different size of flipper magnetic cleaners there. Also got the pallets from Hikari, a very high quality of dry food. Down here you've got Reefroids, you've got your Julian Sprung sea veggies, and of course all of the different style of clips that you could need to get those sea veggies in your aquarium. But I think it is time we moved across to the fish, because there are a lot of fish in these tanks over here, and I want to make sure we get to have a good look at those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the DSLR, because I find it picks up the colors of these fish much better, and we'll go through these racks right now. So switching across to the better camera, let's have a look here. In here you can see this beautiful wrasse. What a big guy he is. Now while I was there, he did try to jump out of the tank, so make sure you've got a net if you're looking at him. Have a look at these orange spot filefish. Now before you ask, no, they are not coral safe. In fact, they are coralivores. They actually like to eat corals, so you got to feed them a little bit of SBS now and then. I can see a Borbonius anthea there, one of my favorite fish. Such a cool looking dude. If I can get the camera to focus, look at the markings on him. Such an attitude on them. And have a look at those, I think that's a neon pencil wrasse. Beautiful fish. Wow. I don't know enough about wrasse, but let's just have a look, see if we can find him on here. We've got flames, blotched. You can see those spotted filefish, marine betas, chocolate gobies, Rainford goby. There is royal pencil wrasse, my apologies. 125, but do bear in mind that these fish are 20% off. So you're going to get $25 off. He's going to bring you back to $100. Check out these flasher wrasse. Now, Michael, the store owner, was able to get a much better picture of these, so be sure to jump on the Reeftopia Facebook page and see all the incredible pictures he got of those fish. Heading on down to the next tank, you can see we've got a great assortment down here of some tangs. You got nice yellow eye bristle-tooth there, a couple in there, powder brown, some black and white clowns. We've got coral beauty angels, some big wrasse. One of my favorites in here is the yellow hog there. I absolutely love these guys, although they can be a little bit aggressive, but he will go. He's already having a nip at a clownfish there, so they can be a little bit of a cheeky fish, but such a huge personality on them, so definitely one to keep in mind. We've got to pan across here to the next tank and have a look. You can see some of these sleeper gobies here, paired up obviously the way those two are sitting together. Beautiful specimens indeed. And then of course, plenty of your standard Occy clownfish in there, some bicolor angels in there. Looks like a nice assortment of flame hawks as well. Heading across to the next system, I can see here, speaking of flame hawks, there are some there. Have a look at this angel though. What a stunner. Look at the markings on that. Difficult to find any other fish other than angels that have these kind of colors and markings on them. Beautiful indeed. But looking behind them is one of the draw cards of the event. These are tiny, tiny juvenile purple tangs, and purple tangs do have a reputation for being a touch aggressive when they get mature, so why not take the opportunity to get them when they're juvenile and let them grow into your aquarium where they'll hopefully seamlessly fit into that hierarchy that has been established. And you can see the price of those guys there. Don't forget there is 20% off that, so you've got to be taking a good what's that, you're going to be taking $80 off that price, which is pretty handy indeed. Up here, no shortage of blue-green chromis. I can see some nice angel in the back there. Have a look at that guy. It's not every day we see one of them. I think he's a king. Look at the cleaner wrasse, just giving him a little touch up there, making sure he's perfectly clean, ready to take home to your aquarium. And definitely not a fish we see every day of the week. So, oh, he's got a pose for the camera too. Absolutely love it. That is perfect. You see some more flame hawks there. That guy just swimming over the edge there. Full of personality they are. And let's just check up on the king angel there. I'll get the camera to focus on him. $650, but you'll be taking $130 off that price if buying at the first birthday celebration. Heading across here, oh, some more showpiece. We've got some gem tangs in here. Again, 20% off, so bargains to be had, and he's a nice healthy looking unit. You see some nice angels in the background there, some cleaner wrasse, but nice gem tang indeed. Look at the wrasse all just hanging around there. Some amphias in there. Flame angel as well, of course. We're starting to see these a little bit more now, but doesn't take anything away from their beauty. They are stunning fish. And then, speaking of a fish that is normally a lot shyer than that, a mystery wrasse. Have a look at that guy. He is not shy at all. Beautiful colors. I do love a mystery wrasse. My biggest fear is that you'll never see him in your tank, but this dude's not timid at all, even when the flame angel comes and pushes him out of the way for his moment in front of the camera, which is unusual. Most of these fish tend to take off, but flame angels obviously go the other way. Speaking of angels, have a look at these little juveniles in here. There's a few of them in store, all held in the acclimation boxes just to make sure they're safe and sound. Nice sailfin there, some more, oh, there's a scribbled angel as well, actually. Let's have a look at the tags here. Well, there's a, I was going to say that's a lemon peel, but that looks like a hybrid lemon peel. If he comes out from behind that rock, yes, he's definitely got, well, he's got a fright, but has some beautiful markings on him indeed. Heading up to the next tank here, apologies for the jerkiness in camera. They don't normally film these on the DSLR, but I couldn't help to get the colors of them with this camera. And speaking of colors, have a look at this guy here, if we can get the orange shoulder out of the way, because he likes the spotlight. Oh, there he is. What a dude. Bright red with blue spots. Big, I'm pretty sure he's a coral cod, I think. Some sort of cod at least. And big dude. What a unit. Check out all these other tangs in there. Rabbit fish as well. Harlequin tusk. Triggers in there. This is obviously a little bit more of a, oh, there's another that looks like a groper back there. This is a little bit more of a big predator style system. And they got some powder blues, a nice emperor in there, another groper of some sort of, or maybe a cod even, back there just hiding. I don't know why the biggest, scariest fish always tend to hide in these displays, but so be it. We'll head down and find another one here. This actually looks like a sweet lips, but I don't think it is. Stunning little dude, whatever he is. I'm sure he's going to get very big and very angry though, so you're going to want to have a large predator system for him. But have a look at these clownfish. These are some of the nicest frostbite, I think they are, clownfish. Beautiful bullet hole markings on them. Very, very nice indeed. Even more flame angels. I think actually hiding in that pipe there. Not the Valentini puffer in front there, but not the powder blue to the left, but I think there could be a rather special angel in one of those bits of pipework hiding out. Get the camera to focus on this guy here, the flame hawk. Ooh, he's going to frighten that that predator off. But if we try and get a look, oh, there he is there. I believe we could have a Venustus angel. I know I'm absolutely butchering the pronunciation of that, but another very high-end fish for the disc-owning collector there. Let's have a look. Venustus angelfish, $300, but yeah, you'll be able to take $60 off him. Beautiful indeed. And I know the team have got a heap of other fish that I didn't cover in this footage just because there are just so many in store. You're going to have to come in and check them out yourself. But I will wrap things up there. Just a quick reminder, for every $25 spent in store, you'll receive one raffle ticket, which you get to pick the prize you want. And you don't even have to be in store for when the prizes are drawn out. So be sure to head on in store 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lots of sales, raffles, giveaways, drinks, food, you name it. I believe there's even 100 cupcakes for the first 100 through the door. So be there or be square. Looking forward to seeing you all then.
All right, guys, there you have it. That is the tour of Reeftopia right before the doors open on their first birthday. An incredible news story in Brisbane, and if you were remotely in the area, I highly encourage you to come on in store. I'll be personally here all day, but I am not the draw card. The draw card is that there is 20% off livestock, and you've just seen the quality of livestock they have here, and 10% off all dry goods. Then throw on top of that, we've got live fragging demonstrations from people like Juno, who've come all the way down from Monsoon, heaps of giveaways, raffles, lots of festivities, and of course, just an incredible vibe. So like me, if you are in the area, or even if you're not, jump on a plane and get yourself in the area. Head on into Reeftopia for their first birthday celebration. It's going to be a heck of a day. Now, I should also take this opportunity to give a massive shout out to these names on screen here. These are my channel members who do make trips like this possible. So I give a huge thank you to each and every one of the names on screen there. And of course, I want to give a massive shout out to everyone in the last few weeks, as well as the OGs who have been there for months and months. To all of my channel subscribers, we have hit that 30,000 milestone that, to be honest, I never thought we'd get there, and we have, and we've sailed past it, and we are on our way to 40,000 subscribers. So a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And if you've got 2 seconds of your time, it costs no money whatsoever. Just hit that button in the bottom corner down there. Become a subscriber of Parker's Reefs, and you won't miss out on any future videos like this one. I don't have much more to say other than I look forward to seeing you at Reeftopia today. And until next time, guys, stay safe, keep reefing. Cheers, bye.